Football, ruddy hell, Champions League is fun, isn't it? Aston Villa, they beat the super entertainers, Paris Saint-Germain. And I'll tell you what there, for a moment there, this PSG team, who are eminently likeable all of a sudden, looked like the heritage, the DNA of PSG was going to seep through of bottling a comfortable win. I mean, the 3-1 wasn't, they were definitely worth the original 3-1 in the Parc des Princes, probably because they've been so dominant generally. Maybe they should have scored more goals, but they took it back to Villa Park and they lost. Aston Villa beat the superstars, the all-stars. Well, they're not the all-stars anymore, are they? Because they're like young Parisian talent, PSG. And but it wasn't enough. Dortmund are also going out to Barcelona. It's the final seconds now at time of recording, losing 3-5 on aggregate. But they too have beaten Barcelona seemingly 3-1 in their stadium, which in isolation is a great result, but of course Barcelona were going into that game with a 4-0 lead. But what tonight has shown you is in tournament football, in European football, in the Champions League, it's never over, and you still can have these special nights. Of course, the Dortmund Stadium, Villa Park, when you get that atmosphere. It's really, really exciting, and because PSG, they're young, bro. They are like 20, average age of 23.8. So they're not a bunch of superstar seasoned winners that have won it all. You've got slightly older players like Ousmane Dembele in there and a couple of others, but there's a lot of youth players: Bakola, Désiré Doué. Even Kvaratskhelia. How old is Kvaratskhelia? Because he's like this recent superstar signing, but even he's 24, man, and he's only relatively recently turned 24 as well. He's won a Scudetto or whatever. But yeah, this game is incredibly exciting, man, because of course in the first game we saw incredibly defensive game plan. Unai Emery, he loves a master plan. In Paris, he went very reactive, and when it was 2-1, when they got that goal back, you thought, yeah, he'll be very happy with that. And that would have been enough here to at least, see them go further into the tie. But this was different. This wasn't reactive. This was, no, you're in our gaff now, and we're going to jump on you. And they really well did. And as you can see here through the momentum, attack momentum graph here, timeline, it's pretty even, really, dude. It really is. And there was some greats. Marcus Rashford, he went Super Saiyan in this game. He lashed an amazing shot, forcing a great save from Donnarumma. Why Donnarumma has got 6.9, I suppose it's because he conceded 3 goals, but he made some excellent saves, man. But Rashford showing all the Galactico trio and Doué as well with his 6.9. Rashford, the highest rated attacker on the pitch on the day. He was excellent, Rashford. I swear he did this for Man United. He's got history with scaring and sticking it up PSG. Couple of shots on target, an assist, 0.41 expected goals. He completed 6 crosses, pretty accurate. Won 5 ground duels, which is 50%. But he was all action. Lots and lots of runs, always making himself available. And to be honest, you didn't see the magic. You saw, basically, from PSG, you saw not the magic from the forward three, not the control from the amazing middle three. What you did see is how both their fullbacks can finish really well, which we know from both Nuno Mendes and Hakimi. Of course, they're like as attacking as it gets when it comes to fullbacks. Although we've seen Nuno Mendes probably more defensively capable than Hakimi. We saw him lock down Mohamed Salah, and that really started Salah's poor form. So he's obviously really, really good defensively, but both of them, boy howdy, can they finish. Hakimi benefited a little bit off a deflection, but Mendes, is it? I guess it's Mendes because he's Portuguese, but yeah, he's an excellent player. But to be honest, man, this was obviously it's bittersweet for Aston Villa because they've gone out, but they beat PSG at home, and it was a close tie, bro. To lose, where are we? To lose 4-5 on aggregate to a team that looks like the best team in Europe, unbeatable, knocked out the Premier League champions. Essentially, they are, aren't they? Liverpool. And to take it that close, I feel really frustrated. The Premier League juice is real. It is real, bro. The quality in the Premier League, whether it's players, managers, or just literally the landscape that they're used to playing in, this high octane, all action, fast, physical, couple of ways of playing. You know, Thomas Tuchel, the England manager, when he talks about we're not going to take different identities to try and win the World Cup with England, we're going to try and take the Premier League, English football, because it's so effective and these players play it. And, you know, PSG sort of had that a little bit. Yeah, man, let's have a look at the stats. And we'll look a little bit about the Barca-Dortmund game as well. So, yeah, they played without the ball this time, even though they were a little bit more pressy. Look at the expected goals, man. 2.26 to PSG's 1.7. You know, that's good finishing from the fullbacks. 6. This is where the what could have been is for the Villa fans, because 6 big chances. You can score a goal from a big chance. They didn't need 6, but if they got 4, goals instead of their 3. 5 goalkeeper saves from Gigi Donnarumma. Emi Martinez made 5 too. I seem to remember Donnarumma making really good saves against Rashford, of course, and the Martson one right at the end in stoppage time. Ian Martson, the left back, it looked like he was gonna take it to extra time, and then even though they had no subs left, Villa, you think maybe the momentum would have got them over the line. But an incredible game, and I applaud Aston Villa. Sadly, I think probably to the expense of my mob. I look at the likes of Villa, Newcastle, Man City, all found momentum right at the best time at the very end of the season. Probably all will secure Champions League spots at the cost of Forest and Chelsea, I believe. So that would be Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, City, Villa. I think. I'm not here to talk about Chelsea. I've got a whole ruddy YouTube channel for that. But Villa are relevant here. So yeah, they made loads of subs, obviously, as you'd understand, really trying to gas them out. Ross the Boss Barkley came on at the end. And yeah, I've seen Ross Barkley have big moments before. Only really Desiree Doué, but he's the sort of extra man in terms of young superstar. But Kim Pembe, what happened to him, bro? Lucas Hernandez, again, because he's not in the starting lineup. I mean, Gonçalo Ramos, this was the guy that should be benching Ronaldo for the Portuguese team. But really, not in, Zaire Emery is a good midfielder that was in the starting lineup. Now he's not. It's not really it's kind of, they haven't got a huge squad, have they? But it's working for them. I mean, they've literally won their league with so many games to spare, and they're undefeated. So look, PSG have been my favourite team to watch, largely because of the rotating front four, and I mean the one that comes off the bench, whether it's Bakola or Desiree Doué, they've been my entertainers. But they weren't in this game. But they did what they had to do, and they got over the line. There was another game. I didn't watch it, but I want to have a quick butcher's hook. And Dortmund beat Barcelona, scoring all 4 goals, including an own goal, in Germany. Guirassy, hat-trick. I'd like to say, I'm not going to talk about my club, although I'm sort of talking about my club, but other Premier League clubs. Why is it only Dortmund that picked up Serge Guirassy? I swear he cost less than £20 million. Less than. He'd scored so many goals for Stuttgart, 28 years old, and he's just, again, scoring loads of goals. I thought for all these teams like Man United and Chelsea that have trying to use up-and-coming young centre-forwards, he wouldn't have demanded big wages. I don't know. Look, yeah, he won. Here he is. Player of the match with his hat-trick. Anyway, maybe it's a profiling thing. Dortmund seemed to have dominated the attacking momentum in the first half, getting that penalty, and at the beginning of the second half, getting that goal, and that's when people go, ooh. But of course, they get the jammy own goal that sort of relieves pressure. But even if they didn't get that own goal, they would have been 1 out, just like Aston Villa were, which would have been, really, really frustrating for them. But in terms of let's have a look at performers here. Adeyemi, the runner, the young guy who's very fast, that always gets linked to certain clubs, and certain clubs' fans don't want him because they think he's just maybe a bit of a speed merchant. Pascal Gross playing for his boyhood club. after going to Brighton, getting an 8.1 rating. Stuff of dreams, really, isn't it? But, Guirassy really being the big man up top, showing Lewandowski levels, as it were. And to be honest, like, the front three, the fabled front three of Barcelona, Lamine Yamal looking like he struggled. At some point we need to remember he's literally a child and he's allowed to do that. Araujo having a stinker, which he's been linked to a lot of clubs as well. And Wojciech Szczesny in goal. Wasn't he? He's got an incredible story, the way he was drafted in, and suddenly he's just been like amazing. By far the highest rated player for Barcelona here. And substitute appearances. Jamie Gittins, linked with Premier League clubs. Apparently he's a £50 million player. Doesn't start, though, in a must-win Champions League game. Interesting. Daniel Olmo, Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia, and Pedri all featuring for the Catalan Giants. Unsurprisingly, Barcelona got through. More surprisingly, that Dortmund beat them 3-1 against such a strong Barcelona side. I think Barcelona, are they top of the league? I think they are in La Liga, but they've obviously went relatively strong, well, pretty strong here. And because you want to just keep winning, don't you? And this will be a knock. Make no bones about it. Though the favourites in both Barcelona and PSG went through, their confidence will be knocked. And you know who's going to be happiest about this? Inter and Arsenal. Because Arsenal, let's be real, Arsenal are definitely going to get past Real Madrid. I know Jude Bellingham's coming out saying the word remontada, and they're trying to stick it up, Arsenal fans. Even if they do have a bit of a wobble, Arsenal are just going through, bro. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be Arsenal PSG, and Arsenal would have looked at Villa beating PSG 3-2 and been like, "Ooh, they've just been Premier Leagued. We can beat Villa. Villa can beat PSG. Ergo, we can win the Champions League." Striking fear into everyone's hearts who aren't Arsenal fans. Still, they got that Prem juice, haven't they? Great night of Champions League football. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Of course, I react to all the big footballing results and stories here on Football Yannick. So thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And come back soon. Peace.